Do you want to give us a little bit of history on your sporting background? Other sports you've played?
Well, growing up, my old man gave us the opportunity to play loads of different sports. You know, I've got four brothers. As you know, having four brothers is quite competitive at home, so we tried to compete at every single sport possible to see who's the best. So we all tried, like my older brother Dylan and myself, we played cricket for Middlesex, which was back then for us was kind of a big deal. And then obviously we went on to play. He went on to play in football. I went on to play in golf. We got quite good at quite a few sports. I got to semi-pro in golf at the age of 14. So, and then it just happened that my old man took us to watch a rugby game, and we realised that since we liked fighting at home with each other all the time, we decided rugby was a kind of a way to try and release some of the anger, but in a good way. Yep. And without hitting my brother.
Yeah, right. So you also, in terms of growing up, you ended up playing a lot of sport to UK, but spent a lot of time in Nice as well, and lived in a couple of different countries. How do you think that affected your growing up?
I definitely think it gave me made me more open-minded about like people and just about the surroundings of where I'm from, because obviously I was born in Trinidad, Tobago, not really the only sport there, so like is cricket, and we stayed in a small town, so we didn't really know many people. So moving to London, you know, I started to interact with lots of people, a lot easier to make friends. It was a lot easier, and I knew with the job my dad had, we'll be moving on again at some point. So in your head, you kind of think, okay, you've got to be kind of nicer people. You got to treat people the way you want to be treated. Yeah. So kind of got that into my head, and moving on, it just made it easier to go from Trinidad to London to Nice, Nice back to London, and now back to Toulon. So it's just, you know, just made it a lot easier for myself to get on with life.
When you decided or sort of had the opportunity to become a professional rugby player, what did you look for in terms of signing with your first club? How did all that come about?
Well, it all started from school level, because everyone always told me you train hard, you play hard, and you do the right things at school. That's where you're gonna get seen. I know there's not a lot of schools who play rugby, but you know, it's just an opportunity. I had the opportunity to go to a school that did rugby. They weren't very good, but it gave you a chance to sort of to get to be better. And our school was linked with Saracens, which made it a lot easier. Mm-hmm. So I got picked up because of that, and I think because they gave me the opportunity, I decided I had to go there instead of going to join my brother who was at a different club.
Yeah. So what in terms of, did you feel obligated because of the development program? And obviously with your brother going to a different club, you did see, you know, what different clubs had to offer.
Yeah, I saw all the different clubs had to offer, and I really wanted to join London Irish, where my brother was. Yeah. So obviously being close to him was, for me, it was a massive thing. But I thought they sort of like been looking after me at school. They used to come down and give us coaching lessons at our school, so I just kind of felt I kind of had to.
There's a loyalty.
Yeah. So I signed for them in the academy, and moved on from there.
What then was your, I guess, then the appeal of coming to Toulon, and obviously spending some time in France previously? Coming to Toulon, was it, you know, what is it special? What brought you here? What was the attraction of coming here?
I mean, what brought me here is I always said, like, when I was here before, I always said I wanted to come back here and play rugby, because I used to come and watch Toulon play as a young kid. I used to watch Nice played when they were in the top 40 in the Heineken Cup, and I just love this place. You know, you get the sun. It's normally always warm. You get to see it's a good lifestyle. I grew up here. I learned a lot about myself and a lot about rugby. Yeah. And I thought this is a place where probably I want to finish my career.
Yeah. What advice do you have for young players coming through? Obviously, your career has been a really good one. how do you, advise young players now in terms of either setting goals, self-discipline, and those sorts of things? What's really key for them to make it as a professional rugby player?
I think self-discipline. I think you've got to separate yourself from some of your friends who are not in the same position as you, because sometimes you kind of fall back into like what they do when it doesn't apply to you. You've got to be strong. Sometimes, like, for example, like there's times when your friends want to go out, on the weekend and stuff like that. You've got big training session all week. You've got a massive game come up. You've got to stay strong and say, listen, I can't do this. I need to be ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
And it's just all about trying to stay strong, because sometimes you only get one crack at it, and you've got to take everything you can in one go.
As a professional athlete, do you have an agent, or did you have an agent, or have you ever worked with agencies, and how have they been?
Yeah, I've had, unfortunately, I've had quite a few agents growing up from 16 onwards, and I've got to tell you the honest truth, they haven't been like.
It hasn't been positive?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
For anyone, so that's why I kind of.
So what's your advice then to younger kids then, in terms of obviously that, young kids now get approached all the time by different agents, what should they look for, or what should they keep in mind?
I think you just need to get everyone together and to look at them like properly, ask other people, example, look at the website. I'm sure there will be stuff about different people where they could learn about what they should expect from an agent. But I think you need someone who you could call, and they'll answer you within a couple of days, and just advise, because that's what you need as a young player going through all this situation. I think you just need someone you could just talk to anytime.
Yeah. All right. What sort of the last and final question? I realise we've got a bit of a time left. You're 13 years old. What advice do you give yourself to ensure you reach your potential?
Train, just train, and listen. I think there's quite a lot of people forget about that last bit. You've got to listen to players around you. You've got to listen to the guys who you see of like inspiration to you. Watch loads of videos. Watch people. I watched when I was like 13. I used to watch like the players like the Zimzan Brook, Tane Randall. Those guys inspired me to become a professional rugby player. I think that's the best they can do, is just try and take in as much advice as you can, and just keep training.
Perfect. Appreciate your time.